So we're here with Angela Proffitt. Angela, just start by giving us your title and your name.
So it's funny when people say, "What's your title? What do you do?" I'm an entrepreneur at heart. When I have to give a title, I say I'm an event and productivity expert. I'm a consultant.
Okay, so tell us more about your business and the services that you offer.
Loaded question. Well, even before we dive into that, I'll back up and say I grew up around weddings and events. My family owned a venue for 35 years. And you don't really know as a child, like when you're around your family members doing flowers and catering and making dresses and doing all these things, that you just kind of acquire and pick up on these little things. So if someone's like, "Go throw a flower arrangement together," I'm like, "You got it." Where some girls would be like, "What? You want me to do what?" And so I didn't really realize that I had that design knack or that talent until many years later. And so I did what most American children are told or taught to do. My parents said, you go to college. What do you want to do when you're going to be older? And I knew I loved people. So I always surround myself with people that I know need help. As far as what do we provide our clients, like even today, as things have built upon one another, we provided a custom experience for every client, whether it's a wedding, an event, whether it is a strategy for social media, because we've gotten into I have another a marketing company. So it's just like you're constantly pivoting. And I don't like to do the same thing over and over for a long period. I get very bored. And some people say that I overextend myself, but I only insert myself in my businesses as much as I'm needed or where I'm needed, because I've learned how to hire the right people to help me provide these services.
You said so much good stuff right there. So one of the things that I know from being in the workforce and working with different business owners is that it is hard to find good talent. And you said that you've learned how to hire the right people. So speak to that for a little bit.
So my little secret sauce, I'm sure that a lot of you listening, you're familiar with Enneagram, DISC, Culture Index, Myers-Briggs. There's so many, and they're all great, and they all teach you about yourself. But there's one in particular called True Colors. And when I worked in the mental hospital at a very young age, when I was graduating college, it was like my first job, we did all these assessments on really sick people. And the only methodology or the only personality test, and I would try not to call it a test, like I was the fun girl, like when people would come in and they were so sick. And so the colors really talked to people, and it allowed them to not have to read and absorb and think. And so they would actually open up to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like 4 little cards, and people are like, "Are you gonna read my palm?" I'm like, no, it's not like that. But it's a very simple team building exercise that you can do. It's typically done in a team. So I used to do it in a therapy setting with a bunch of patients. And I started to learn there's 4 fundamental elements of the 4 main colors. And I started to learn and pick up on body language and how to assess people. And so I really didn't know until I really got into the thick of owning a business and having employees and running all these things, that it comes down to personality and how your brain's wired.
Nice. That is such a great point. So basically, that's how your psychology experience flows into your business experience, correct?
Every day.
Nice. So what do you enjoy doing most? You're a woman that wears many hats. You have many passions. What do you enjoy doing most?
So my favorite thing is to take things that have happened and turn them into positive and find an opportunity out of those things. But I like doing a lot of things. I love teaching people how to use their Macs. I love teaching companies how to sync all of their iPhones, their iPads, and their MacBooks. A lot of companies we work with, they invest a lot a lot of money in Apple products,
Okay.
but then they don't train their team to use it.
Right.
And so that's where we have a joint venture with Apple, and we go out and help these companies. So, but we only help Apple. Some people are like, do you do Droids or PCs? And when I was in healthcare, we did implement EMR, electronic medical records, which is mainly for PCs. But I don't like doing that. So guess what? I don't do it anymore. So because again, like, people get very frustrated when they don't know how to use their technology. But after I'm patient and it's little wins, and it doesn't take a lot, where people are like, oh my gosh, I can say, hey Siri, remind me to get milk when I leave, and like the reminder comes up, which is like, I've been doing that for 10 years. But they don't know because no one's told them, and they don't take the time to go to the Apple store and take the free classes. So I love doing that. And I love facilitating the True Colors workshops. Again, it's a value point to where people realize who they are and how people perceive them. And then when they leave, I mean, the things that people send me on emails and DMs and Marco Polos are like, that's what drives me to continue to do what I do.
Nice. What internships do you offer?
Yeah. So we actually, just about every 8 weeks, we take a new intern. And most interns, because I'm located in my home office, when people are like, where's your office? I'm like, I'm from Nashville, but I'm often in an airplane when it's not COVID, traveling wherever our clients go. Yeah. And some interns will apply thinking they're going to like hop on the airplane in my suitcase with me and like go around the world. It's not like that at all. Most interns stay in Nashville with a lot of my team members. They actually don't like to travel, which is okay, because I always need somebody at home base, to hold the fort down. And so they are, they're with me some, and then they're with our team some. I mean, our intern right now during COVID, like, everything's been through Zoom and everything has been like on the phone. And then like 3 weeks into it, she's like, am I ever gonna meet you guys in person? And like, we finally did. Like, we went on a venue tour for a new client that we were gonna help in the hospitality industry. And I'm like, just wear your mask. And then my attorney's like, they have to sign something that if they get sick, they're not gonna sue you. I mean, I hate thinking that way. Like, I hate it. But that's the world we live in, and you have to protect yourself as a business owner. And but typically every 8 weeks, like, the schools are sending people through. We've even had people like move here from other countries, and really to learn about the hospitality industry and events. But while we're doing that, we are also teaching productivity. We're teaching, and where there's a few prerequisites. Like, you got to have a car, and you got to have Apple products. Because for me, if we're not talking the same language, we're not using the same apps, it's very inefficient. And so it's all on our website. You can go to the website, and everything is laid out there, and we have a very strategic process for interns to go through. And there are a little bit of hoops, but that's kind of on purpose, because if people are really serious and they want it bad enough, they're gonna follow directions. Right. So read the directions, because some people don't read the directions, and then we'll just disqualify them, because if you can't follow directions, I don't know if I want you as an intern, because when I take interns, I'm also looking for people who would be quality people to grow with any of my companies, or to help them get a job with any of the hotels that we work with. I mean, we have so many wonderful connections, but I'm very careful about who I'm recommending for what, because it has come back and bit me in the butt before, where people, they're there for a week, they hate the job, and they're like, can I just come back and work with you? And I'm like, we can't, take everybody, and it's not a good fit not everybody's meant for the hospitality industry. But the internships, it's like one of my favorite things, because I'm helping them, they're helping me, again, become a better leader and a better communicator.
Yeah, nice. And then what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is just, like my dad always said to me, he's like, time is precious. You can always work more and you can always make more money, but you can never pay to buy it back. So just be present 100% in whatever you're doing.
Wow.
I don't want to cry, so I'm going to stop talking. And I'm not a crier, but like, I miss my dad every day.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
This was so awesome. I know that everyone watching is going to get so much out of this interview.